How about my dearest YouTube friends? Today we are in a new video, the last character that we had left to analyze from this piece of Titan glass, and not for much less it is the last. He is also a super good character both in defense and attack. He is a very top character with ultra massive damage that you will see how easy it is to develop the character. In this case, I have to thank D. Gomez VA because he has left us his Jean Grey in rank 3. In this case, it is not. It is duplicated, but it doesn't matter because, friends, duplication is not important. The only thing the duplicate basically does is when it activates stopped mastery. Instead of being an active stun, it's going to be a passive stun. Therefore, what it is going to do to us is increase our attack range against characters so that those stunning disadvantages are removed, such as Koratuma or someone else that purifies. So that is quite good for us, but I already tell you that the character's gross damage is without his duplicate, therefore he has it. Immune to inverted controls and all attacks that deal energy damage, therefore makes him a very good counter of Onslaught worth. The weak attacks 2, 3, and 4 inflict Neuroshock disadvantages when Jin gets a block or critical hit. It is an exhaustion disadvantage, and also the passive Neuroshock events inflict energy damage for 24 seconds as max charges 35. Veil has the force field similar to what the Invisible Woman character has Veil and starts every fight with a force field that they basically can't take away 10% of their maximum life. Also, when an attack other than Super Attack 3, the force field absorbs up to 90% of the damage in its place, while the Jin stative force field takes no damage from the physical effects of thorns. Therefore, to a more direct counter, Tuna and Core worth and critical damage forces speakers is reduced. When the opponent's strength runs out, Jin launches a psychic attack with the passive effect of Delirium. Okay, Delirium basically makes you do reversed controls for that. It makes you good in defense that Cooling Temple is reduced by about 51.5 seconds every time a disadvantage is purified on the opponent. Then we have the Scion, amazing when it purifies or cleanses the opponent's disadvantage. While Jim is not performing in his pre-attack, he gets a passive of Awesome until the end of the next. Super Take as max charges 2 when Jin got amazing passion effect over more charges and arrives more instead of getting an ionic side charge as max charges. 10 when purifying an opponent's handicap during Yin's super attacks by a source other than herself, Yin gains psionic charge, and when avoiding a personal handicap by reducing prediction and abilities, we have 35% when gaining a psionic charge. This will not activate counterparts with the psychic shield tag. Therefore, Oslout is not that good. Strong attacks are worth it here. The first hit purifies up to 3 Neuroshock or non-harmful handicaps and grants Jin an ionic charge. If the opponent is not stunned, the final blow inflicts 2 Neuroshock disadvantages with super attacks, leaving Neuroshock discouraged and delirious that pause during a super attack. This is the first hit with a 50% probability of inflicting 30% delirium to be able to make reversed controls, and as an attacker, the probability of 100%, and as a defender. When activated, it consumes 3 ionic charges and inflicts a personal passive Neuroshock effect for each charge consumed. Since it's silver than 1, the first hit purifies all of the opponent's Neuroshock and non-harmful disadvantages and consumes all of their ionic charges. For each disadvantage purified and for each load consumed, it does not infringe a passive effect of personal Neuroshock. We basically go from assets to liabilities. Veil and the final blow inflicts between 2 to 4 additional passive Neuroshock effects. With Super Attack 2, 5 activates 35% discouragement, non-cumulative. Each hit includes a burst of energy damage for each Neurosomene 40 and for each engine ion charge. The final hit consumes 50% of the ionic charges, rounding down, and finally Sub Attack 3, which is not usually used. Basically, Jin adds a 100% fixed strength to his strength combo if he's active or reactivates him at full strength if he's not after. Print a personal Neuroshock passion effect for every 20% of remaining strength. You will see the piece of character that is Jean Grey and what? The character is easy to develop, okay? In this case, we are going to see it as always with our friend the Winter Soldier, our boxing field par excellence, and you are going to see how easy it is. We simply have to enter the fight, and you are already seeing how underneath in Grey's life, that force field has been created for us that will reduce all the damage we receive. How do we do the gameplay? Well, very easy. Stops and medium blow, weak, and weak. Okay, with that, you are already seeing that we are leaving Neuroshock disadvantages. What we basically have to do is almost reach the 2 power bars with the maximum neuroshock that we can have obtained. Because this way, we are going to be able to throw super attack 1 and we are going to be able to convert them into passive neuroshock effects. So what do we have to be doing now? Well, reload more neuroshock, but in this case, throw a couple of strong blows to get that amazing load is worth it. And in the meantime, the reliquary will support it and throw another strong blow to gain more ionic charges that in the end is what you will see. May your gameplay be much stronger in this case. Before reaching the 3 power bars, we had Super Attack 2 and look at the continuous damage caused by loads that our friend Jean Grey has caused, and she literally dies with the Neuroshock and also with the disadvantages that we have obtained. I also tell you that the greater the disadvantages of Neuroshock, what you are going to do is exploit them with the Super Attack and you are going to have an even faster fight. So in this case, as we are seeing it with a not so long fight, so to speak, no. It gives you time to develop everything about Gingra, and therefore that tells us that it has a fairly large room for improvement in the fight because it does not give literally 500,000 lifetime to fully develop Gingra, and therefore makes us a very good character. So in weak, and weak medium hits, you have to finish the combo in weak hit to be able to leave those neurotic disadvantages as you are already seeing on the screen. What you can also do is instead of throwing it at Super Attack 1 several times once, go and throw it several times. Okay, that's what we are going to do right now. In this gameplay, we throw Super Attack 1, we turn those disadvantages of Neuroshock active and invasive plus the 204H that we get for super attacks. And what we can be doing now is again go and throw another Super Attack 1 so that we can get more loads of Neuro, so that in this case you are already seeing that there are 25. Okay, so let's see if it comes. We throw strong blows to get it. Loads of amazing that you're seeing under Jim Gray's life, and that what that does is basically that the loads of power we can throw away sooner. Okay, we hit another hard blow, those 25 neuroshocks are going to go away. We haven't been left with 29. That is the problem that Jim Gray has. It is true that the neuroshock is removed quite quickly, but hey, even so, in this case we have not been Super Attack 3, which you will see has no effect at all. I think it reactivates your shield, but you also see the animation, which is quite powerful, and I already tell you that our friend Jim Gray has great damage. You see it there? Let's see it. Look, we have the Neurosums again, and in this case, we are going to see if we hit hard again. We got the amazing very well, which is the yellow load that you are seeing under Jim Gray, and we are going to Super Takeros, although it won't even give us time because the Euroshock literally melts into the character. Are we going to see it without a class upgrade? Is it worth a class advantage? Let's see it with Classic Captain Marvel, and again, I'm going to explain the gameplay to you. It's worth it to me and the one I like. Basically, it is the first way that we just have to give weak blows until we get almost to the 2 power bars without pulling. A strong blow is very important since that's how we have it. There we have it. We have 12 Neuroshock charges. And in this case, we put them passive and put them back so that we have to throw the combos again. Okay, we hit hard to get those 2 awesome upgrades, and with that, we'll have Ionic charges. Strong blow again to have more Ionic charges again. And in this case, some give to enter a combo. And we throw Sub Attack 2. That's how simple it is to develop the look it has done, I think. And 3 bursts of 51,000 plus, the damage that our Jingray has caused seems stupid to me, and we simply threw Super Attack 1 again to get more nervous and pass them passively. And it is a piece of character, you are already seeing it, and on top of that, you are seeing how the Neuroshock is acting, that basically very few characters are immune to this effect. Then we almost have her dead. He is a massive damage character, but Friends also in defense shines a lot. Okay, this case is the form of fighting. It is the only one in which what you can do is duplicate those 1 super attack or directly make it a 1 super attack as you just saw. But friends, the use of Jim Gray is beyond his level because it literally makes a direct counter, for example from Core, which we are going to do a practical mode because you are going to see that as long as we have the active shield, we are not going to be receiving any damage from Thorns, which is what is most annoying about both Core and Atom. You are going to be seeing In this case, we have to try not to lower that shield. Look, for example, right now our friend would be literally returning all that damage to us. But since we have that advantage of the force field, we are not going to be receiving anything. Damage. Let's see if it is removed from us now, okay? Let's see if we are allowed to stick a little. See how we are not receiving it. And now we are going to let ourselves stick so that our shield is removed. And you are going to see how we gain that damage again by thorns. Let's see if he lets me. There we are. Well, he has hit us a little. Let's see if he lets me hit and look. And there we are, already receiving damage from thorns, okay? In this case, the core that Gomez Van has is not so strong. Therefore, the thorns are not so powerful. Then you are already seeing that it is super simple to develop this Ying, this Jingray, and above all that, it greatly expands the attack range. Surely with the duplicate, the only thing it does is increase our attack range thanks to the fact that that stun we put on it will become passive therefore. For or to 2-man, it will not be removed, and that expands us much more. But hey, he seems like a very good character to me that you literally need to raise him to rank 3 or directly to rank 4. He is a top defensive character that gives you reverse controls, and we already know that many people in battle find it difficult to fight with these reverse controls. So a character who is top attacker, top defense, and I am lucky that it has been my turn and I have raised him to rank 2, and De Gomez will be delighted with that Jingrid in rank 3. Leave me the comments you think of this character. I love him, and in fact one of the best characters we can get on the Titan. So friends, I hope you liked the super video. If you're not there, see you in other videos. Bye bye.